Now let us continue with this crusade against these worthless mutants and their enabling owners. This is from the CDC, the Centers for Disease Control. Now, their purpose, and I'm going to quote what they have on their website. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is a federal agency that conducts and supports health promotion, prevention, and preparedness activities in the United States with the goal of improving overall public health, end quote. Now, on their website, they have a section titled Preventing Dog Bites, right? How to prevent dog bites. They have a list of do's and don'ts. In the do section, it says always ask if it is okay to pet someone else's dog before reaching out to pet the dog. Now let me stop there. This may not seem like a big deal to most people, but to me this is extremely weird. Pet the dog for what? For what? What does this do for you? It is not going to enhance your life whatsoever. I don't want to hear about it's healthy to express emotion. You have humans if you want to do that. Don't talk as if dogs are the only outlet to do that with. So I'm not buying that. This has a risk involved with it. Many people are attacked when they try to pet dogs. Is it worth the risk? Understand, it's not like they're doing something that doesn't enhance their life, but also doesn't carry a risk, right? This would be harder to object to for me if dogs were harmless. But the fact that they are deadly, I have to ask, why take the risk? To me, it is absolutely brainless and stupid. People act as if it is a necessity. Like it's just, you have to do it. You have to pet dogs. You don't have to touch these ugly, disease-ridden mutants. So that is what you do. Don't pet dogs at all. What type of advice is this from a federal agency that's concerned about public health? You are still advising people into danger, into a dangerous situation. Even if they give you permission to pet their dog, that worthless mutt can attack you. So to me, this is just ill advice. You don't tell people to ask for permission to pet anybody's worthless mutt. What you do is when you see a mutt, you stay away from it. You go in the opposite direction. It also says, quote, when approached by an unfamiliar dog, remain motionless. Be still like a tree. If a dog knocks you over, curl into a ball with your head tucked and your hands over your ears and neck. Let me stop right there. Look, if we're talking about preventing dog attacks, we shouldn't be talking about this, because the steps available to prevent dog attacks are effective enough. You remove them from society. People always, even federal agencies, as you can see, they cannot imagine a world without dogs. They refuse to look at not owning dogs as an option. That's another thing. When you look at ways to prevent lung cancer, one of their suggestions is that you quit smoking. Like, quit smoking. But On a list like this, nowhere do they say, don't own a dog. Don't keep a dog in your house. Isn't that the most obvious, most effective way to avoid dog attacks? Seeing that most people and kids are attacked by the family dog. Again, this is ill advice. This can only exist in a dog nut culture. It is pretty pathetic and embarrassing to see a federal agency this irresponsible. Right now, on the list of don'ts, you would expect them to come around and say, hey, don't own a dog. But no, they say don't approach an unfamiliar dog. Well, what kind of advice is that? When most people are attacked by a familiar dog. They give this advice as if most people are bitten by unfamiliar dogs. That's not the case. This is all over the place. This is supposed to be professional advice, and it is absolutely ridiculous. It says don't run from a dog. Don't panic or make loud noise, like you don't have any freedom around dogs. When dogs are around, they take our freedom away. Now we have to behave in certain ways. It says don't disturb a dog that is sleeping, eating, or caring for its puppies. Do dogs refuse to disturb you while you're eating? No, they come right up to you and stick their nasty face in your face and stare at you, sit right in front of you and stare at you. They will wait for you to leave the room, turn your back, and they will eat your food. So why should humans respect dogs that are eating? You shouldn't be feeding them anyways. Any creature that refuses to be disturbed while it's eating and refuses to not disturb you when it's eating don't deserve to be fed at all. You stupid for keeping such a creature in your home. Absolutely brainless. What a freeloading piece of... There is no way that mutt would starve to death. Even if I like dogs and I ran across that type of behavior, that's pretty much what turned me off about dogs. Once I started to figure out their behavior. I don't understand how people can still be attracted to these worthless creatures once they discover how repulsive and absolutely uncivilized they are, even compared to other animals. These creatures are absolutely unacceptable to me. While you're eating or sleeping or caring for puppies, they don't give a damn if you're caring for your young. They want to kill your young. Like I said before, you bother one of their puppies, they're going to maul you. If they maul one of your kids, oh, don't hurt it. Go let it die a painless death. Make sure it doesn't feel any pain. It has to be put down in a humane way. Why? It's not a human. It does not maul kids in a humane way. So why should we give them that honor? They treat dogs as if they are gods, as if they worship, and they do worship. This is a dog worship cult. It is absolutely disgusting. They say, don't pet a dog without allowing it to see and sniff you first. No thanks. I don't need that mutt to see and sniff me. You shouldn't either, because it's not going to do me any good to pet that mutt. People act like, oh, let it see and sniff you first, as if there is a privilege to petting it. They don't interpret being petted as affection anyways. You can tell by how they react when you pet them. Do they act like it feels good? No. It's like they ignore your petting. And you may as well not be doing it. They're not those types of creatures. They're not like cats. Cats clearly give you a sign that they appreciate the physical comfort of being rubbed. Dogs don't. They just stand there like a lump on the log, drooling, stinking, begging for more food. So there is too many reasons to simply not pet them, for a professional agency to be given advice to pet them as if it's something that's going to improve our health. If they're concerned about health promotion, why not advise people to not pet dogs when it's unhealthy? Dogs don't increase your immune system. They're disgusting, disease-ridden, bug-ridden creatures. They're going to be a threat to your immune system. They're going to give you some disease, make you sick. I don't care what these people talk about how dogs have diseases only transmittable to us. I remember clearly every time I would go over this guy's house and he had it, I wouldn't even touch that mutt. I would end up getting sick. All that dander and all that shit flying through the air on their dander and everywhere throughout the house, that is not good for your health. I don't give a damn what people are talking to. These are a bunch of nasty people who become so-called dog experts and then come up with these stupid ideas that dogs' mouths are cleaner than ours. Their diseases, their germs won't hurt us. We're immune to them. That is utter nonsense. They also say, don't encourage your dog to play aggressively. In other words, right, you got to change the dog from how it naturally is. I talked about that before. And now you end up with a trained dog that you're going to project as normal now. No, it's out of its element. Playing aggressively, that's how they do. They play to segue into actual attacks. Say, don't let small children play with a dog unsupervised. Here we go again. This is a federal agency and still not giving advice based on the facts. The facts is most kids who are attacked while an adult is present. An adult is usually present. So having supervision does not prevent the attack. Isn't it obvious that they are trying their best, bending over backwards to avoid advising people to not own dogs? And they sound ridiculous in the process, when the obvious answer is to not own dogs. You're going to sound very ridiculous when you're trying to advise people on how to avoid being attacked by them. Why more people are not aware of this is beyond me. And you find this website after website. You find this on the websites of organizations who are pretty well known and established. They give these same types of suggestions, and they never give the obvious, most effective suggestion, which is to not own dogs at all. That is the true solution. Now, what are we going to do with the dogs? I don't give a damn. I would prefer that they be added to the meat industry. Everybody who eats meat, you eat pork, this is just as filthy as pork, right? If you eat pork, you shouldn't be worried about eating dog meat. This creature is just as disgusting, right? So we have a plan for dogs. They will be added to the farms in the United States, slaughtered right alongside pigs, cows, chickens, and turkeys. If people don't want to eat dog meat, then put them all to sleep. That's the solution. These creatures have to be gotten rid of, and we cannot force them to live out in the wild. Then we'll have to continue to waste resources trying to keep them out of our territory, just like many other countries have to do. Right? We would have to have our police force hunting down dogs every day. Dog in our backyard. There's a dog here, a dog there. You try to run them out into the wild, the dogs wander right back into civilization because they're so worthless, dependent, and stupid. So that's not an option. The best option is to get rid of them. All dogs on this planet should be exterminated. That is how you prevent dog bites.